Hey everyone, it's Mike with Crane Realty. Hope you're all doing really well out there. We're at the start of a new month here in April 2023, which means that we have an opportunity to look back at the previous month's inventory to see how exactly things are shaping up now that we're officially through the winter season and headed into spring, what that means exactly with regard to new listings hitting the market, and if it's going to provide and alleviate any type of difficulties that buyers have been experiencing as they've been hoping for more search results coming in. We're on the eve of May, obviously being as you might research and find out, May is typically the most productive month for sellers looking to put their home on the market compared to any other month out of the year. Statistically, they've been able to get the most bang for their buck when they list in May. So hopefully that's what kind of the holdout is. I know there's probably a lot of different factors that are playing into the lack of inventory. But for this video, we'll actually take a look and put some real data behind what that feeling might be with regard to not seeing a ton of inventory out there. So without much delay, let's get right into the numbers. So we're going to be looking at the last 5 years. So we have something to compare it to. Looking at the number of new listings, and we'll be seeing it as a month view in Ontario County. Now you'll see these high peaks, that's the summertime, and then as it goes down, hitting into the fall, and then bottoming out at the winter time, usually the holiday season, and then driving back up in the spring and settling back into summer where it'll eventually go down again. On the very far right, you will see our performance way over here. It'll be very interesting to see what shape we'll overall finish for the year 2024, as we're kind of off to a stumbling start. We've done that once or twice in the past, but this one in particular is really showing to have some quite negative implications with regard to our inventory. Actually clicking on data so we can associate it with more of a firm number. It's not been uncommon for January and February to start out with eking just barely over 100 new listings in one single month. This next month into March is kind of what's giving me a bit of a red flag. Pretty much we've always been able to hit at least 150. It was very noticeable in March. There really just wasn't that level of inventory for a lot of buyers. So showings, again, if you think about it, there's just going to be that much less showings, that much less activity taking place, and there's really just not a lot going on out there. So for anybody who did sell in March, certainly strengthening more of a buyer's market, you were the only game in town, really drove up a lot of competition. Will we see that take place with regard to the month of April? I think there's a lot more people going to be listing April versus March. So we might actually get a little bit of a crisscross here with our month of March not being able to perform last year's, but perhaps we can actually eke out a win over the previous year, 2023, with regard to its inventory. I think that's rather feasible. Taking a look with regard to the price point too, now that we kind of have a sense for our overall inventory, it would be nice to know if I'm at a certain price point, what is my inventory at that price point? That's really critical as well. So we'll do year to date, and then we'll also take a look at the list price of these homes. Here we go. We'll take a look at it as a graph. That's a little bit easier to comprehend. So as you can see right here, if your budget's 100K on down, and again, this is looking at the start of the year to date, in Ontario County, you're basically right at 65 listings to look at. Not very many. It even gets worse. If you're somebody who's wanting to be a first-time homeowner, you're saying, hey, no more renting for me. I want to be looking at homes that perhaps for my financial credibilities, I can go up to, from 100 to 150K. You're in this price tier, and there's only been 33 showings, or excuse me, 33 new listings. And that's the entire area of Ontario County, which is a pretty big geographic location that we're taking into consideration. This has been kind of the Achilles heel for us over the last, I would say 2 years, where we've seen this in particular, these three price categories have always been the highest, and then everything else kind of goes down, whereas we're actually seeing this kind of begin to rise and bulk up and level out. Obviously, there's going to be, for buyers, and it just makes sense, there's going to be more people starting out that are going to be at this price tier. You know, not everybody's making $500,000 and looking to be in this price category. So we have more people in the looking to buy in this category over here. And there, frankly, there's not much inventory. This is a little bit of a phenomenon. I know at the Rochester Economic Forum that I attended a few months ago, they were talking about this and, you know, saying that this is really kind of even more so burdening for a lot of particularly first-time homeowners and making things extra difficult. So, but again, we're on the eve of May. Hopefully we'll see more sellers coming onto the market. I think if we can possibly get the federal interest rate to come down at all, if we see that come down at all, that would certainly help out a lot of buyers out there, because there's a ton, I know for myself just personally, there's a ton of sellers that want to sell, but they would be contingent on buying, or it's just not right with the market because they bought 2-3 years ago prior to the interest rate hike. So they're holding on to a mortgage that essentially, if they were to buy right now for something comparable, their mortgage payment would go up quite significantly. So it just doesn't make that financial sense to them. Even though their quality of life may have changed where they need to buy a bigger house or relocate for work or what have you, they just can't do that right now. So there's a lot of holdout that's not quite taking place here that you can see. But if that were to happen, as far as the interest rate coming down, that would help out quite significantly. So hopefully this video was helpful to you. If it was, please give it a thumbs up and be sure to click our subscribe button so you don't miss any of our future content that we have coming out each and every week. Again, I'm Mike with Crane Realty, and I hope you have a great day. Take care, everyone. Bye-bye.